I'm going to do 2 homework questions from the workbook on lesson 5. So number 2 says simplify, state the restrictions on the variables. And I'm going to do C and D. So the first thing, when we are adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, and we're simplifying, we want everything to be factored. So if I look at 6y minus 3, I'm going to factor that by GCF. I'm going to factor the 6. And my solution would be, or my factor would be y minus 5. The denominator is already in factored form. This is being multiplied. The numerator here is factor 5, and we get y minus 1. And my denominator would factor 3y. This would be a GCF. And what I would have remaining when I factor out a 3y is y minus 5. Everything in the numerator and denominator is now in factored form, so we could simply start canceling at this stage here. Y minus 5 and y minus 5 would cancel. Y minus 1 and y minus 1 would cancel. Now for my numbers, there's 2 different ways I could do this. I could say 6 times 5 is 30, and 30 divided by 10 is 3. Or sorry, 30 divided by 3 is 10. So I could say my answer is 10 over y. Or I could have done 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Either way, this simplifies to be 10y. Then I'm going to state my restrictions. So remember that we could never have a 0 in the denominator because you can't divide by 0. So this restriction here, to get your restrictions, you always want to be in factored form. So this restriction y cannot be equal to 1. This restriction is y cannot be equal to 0. And this restriction is y cannot be equal to 5. By convention, you guys, I am okay if you box this in as factor. However, if we were in class, I would always say, give me your restriction, or state your restriction from the smallest to the largest. So I just put that 0 first, 1, 5. And that would be my solution. My simplified answer is 10 over y. Y cannot be equal to 0, 1, or 5. Okay, let's do number 2D. So from the numerator over here, I hope you would see that you would factor that by a GCF, and the GCF would be 2. And my factor when I take out a 2 would be 5x plus 1. All over this denominator here, 5x minus 1, I can't do anything here. Okay, it's already factored. So what I'm going to do, because it's a binomial, is I'm actually going to put that in a pair of brackets. Because remember, the name of the game is you want to, when you reduce, cancel out a binomial with a binomial. Times. My numerator over here cannot be factored. So again, let's write that guy down and let's put it in a bracket. And my denominator, 35x plus 7, I could factor out a GCF from there, and I'm going to factor out a GCF of 7. And when I factor out a 7, my answer would be 5x plus 1. Multiplication, we could just start canceling. So when I cancel, 5x plus 1, 5x plus 1, that would cancel. And what I am left with, I'm left with in my numerator a 2 and an x minus 1. And in my denominator, I'm going to write the 7 first, and then 5x minus 1. There's nothing else that 2 over 7 does not reduce. And these 2 do not cancel, right? In order for these 2 factors to cancel, I would need a 5 in front of this x. A 5x minus 1 and a 5x minus 1 would cancel, but these are 2 completely different factors, so that would be my solution. And then I would say, comma, what could x not be equal to? So if I go to this factor here, and that factor cannot be equal to 1/5, and this factor cannot be equal to negative 1/5, right? 5x plus 1 cannot be equal to 0. Solve for x and you get negative 1/5. So my solution is actually x cannot be equal to plus or minus 1/5. And that would be my answer.